Jeff says, get down to McDonald's. They're down there. I run down there. I said, where do they want? They went up to Burger King. I think there was like a dozen in one van. They were going from location to location. I'm chasing them all over. So I wasted an hour chasing these guys around.
So what's Tony Katz's number?
813. Here you go.
What time we calling him?
At 4.
What's the coolest thing about this job?
Are you filming me now?
All the groupies.
Really? Is it in 3D?
Yeah, what's the coolest thing about this job?
The coolest thing about this job? Being able to buy food at the end of the week.
There is that, isn't there?
Here, we're going to call this guy. We're going to call this guy right here. This is a guy who knows, he does the history of Dickens. He talks about the Christmas Carol. So, the coolest thing about this job, let me tell you, is I get to talk to people that normally wouldn't talk to me. What in any case? You know
if they saw you on the street, they'd run.
I mean, the governor walks in here, the lieutenant governor walks in here, presidential candidates walk in here. Newt Gingrich walked in the studio. The other day, Lindsey Graham just kind of showed up, remember? He just kind of shows up and walks in. And when they get in here, we make them feel at ease. You know, they're live, you're looking at them. I stand up the whole time I'm on the air, and hardly anybody, when they come in here, sits down. We have people with bad legs and things sit down, but, you know. Yeah, and by the way, I'm collecting empty bottles and cans to, for a fund to fix my knee.
Are you really? Good luck with that.
I think we should do the Facebook page, Save Rocky's Knee. Donate money to Rocky's knee. Anything appreciated.
What time we calling
Okay,
Evan Cruz?
Good. Glad we got that.
And that's not his name. It's Richard something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's claiming that Evan Cruz is a guy, that's who he based Ebenezer Scrooge on.
Well, where's the guy's name?
It's Richard. It's in there. It's in there. Yeah. It's Richard.
Oh, Richard Adams.
There you go.
Richard
Yeah. He's signing books right now. He's up in New York City signing books. They like to do that in New York City.
They do.
Yeah, they like.
I like to sign books myself.
Yeah, they like to have books.
That means you're selling them.
Yeah, but are people reading them?
What time are we calling him?
5. That's the 5P.
Okay.
So at 3 we'll talk about the AI, and then we're going to talk about the Black Santa Claus situation.
What's the deal?
Everybody's bitching. At first I didn't think much about it. I didn't see him because he was 10 floats behind me at least. But in the Charleston Christmas Parade, 10 floats behind me, and I guess I could have walked over and seen him. The official Charleston Parade Santa Claus was a black guy. And people
doesn't
go,
bother
so
me.
What? And I'm thinking, all right, wait a minute. No, Santa's a white guy. That's just the way it is. North Pole. How many brothers do you know from the North Pole? None.
Actually, to be honest with you, I'm in Maine, and there are very few brothers in Maine.
There you go. There's no brothers in Maine. The only brothers in Maine are in St. Paul or whatever it is. There's none in Canada.
No, that would be Minneapolis.
Yeah. I mean, most
Minnesota,
hockey players come out of Canada. There's like half a dozen black hockey players out of Canada. That's it. I mean, there's only anyway. Look at it this way. So I found out that more than 2, at least 3 that I know of, city councilmen were getting complaints about the parade because the Christmas parade has turned into a African pride parade. I mean, there were floats in it. The float in front of me had nothing to do with Christmas. It had to do with come to Jamaica. What does that have to do with Christmas? The float behind me had to do with King Tut and his wife, Nefertiti.
Something like that, yeah. Well, I'm glad I wasn't here. I was in Maine, but...
Well, I actually had words with them. I walked up and I said, "Are you King Tut?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I thought King Tut was Egyptian."
Egyptian. I know. Well, what a zany world it is in which we
the lady
live.
sent me, so I talked about it a little bit, and the lady sent me a message. These days in radio, you get far fewer calls. You get more messaging.
Emails. Yeah.
I mean, and I was trying to figure out, why don't people just pick up the phone and call? Have you been to a restaurant lately? I mean, a lounge restaurant, like Parson Jack's, after dinner. You will see a table full of people sitting there, 4 people, and they'll be with each other. This happened just Monday night. They'll be on their machines. I mean, I know a guy named Bucky. He took his sister out to Parson Jack's and had a friend, I think it was another relative, older woman. And I walked in, they're all doing this. They're sitting right across from each other, right? And so they're not even paying attention. And so I leaned in, and I started cursing at him, because I know Bucky. I said, "What the is wrong with you? I said, and he looks up at me like this. I go, you're sitting here with your sister and another family member, and none of you are talking to each other. Why did you come here?
Better food. Mom doesn't have to cook. She's too busy texting.
I guess. I see him there all the time. He's a nice guy, but the thing is that's the same thing that's happening on radio. When I do a contest, people will call in. I'll bet that's Keck right there. That's our HHS guy. I'll be way early.
Okay, no, we're good. And as soon as you start.
Right. Well, you're going to love that.
No, I'll let you start. But then
I walk all over the place. Can you see me here?
No, I know.
Can you see me over here?
No.
We get more messages now. People simply don't want to talk. I'll even call my girlfriend. She won't pick up the phone. I'll just hang it up, and she texts me back. Come over at 8. Without even picking up the phone.
I do business with a lot of younger people, 25 years younger than I, and they all text. They don't call. They don't text. They don't even email. Yeah. Oh, well. Well, Rocky.
Well, that's a good thing, because if I go out on a date with a girl much younger than me, she doesn't look at me too much, so she doesn't notice I'm so much older than she is, because she's too busy looking at her freaking phone.
How's that working out for you?
Well, it works out until they take a good look at me.
Where are you from, Chicago? You're Chicago.
Born and raised in Chicago. Moved to the South. I spent most of my adult life in the Southeast. And, yeah. I mean, I moved to...
No, you've been here for how long? Since what, 2001?
Yeah. I started in Chicago, so I got lucky to start in the big time, right? And, well, actually, I started in the suburbs.
You were here at 9/11, though, right? Were you here? Yeah, I thought
I was there about a month before.
Right, that's what I thought.
I was still living in a hotel, and I called Dan Moon in the morning, and because I happened to be up sitting at the end of my hotel for a month. I lived in a hotel room. It was a nice hotel place. It had wires all over because I was already wired into the internet. I brought my computer and everything else, and I didn't have them clean my room for a month. I said, just stay out of here. There's too many wires and stuff. They said, all right. You know, it smelled like old socks in there when I left. But on 9/11 in the morning, I'd gotten up about 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. Get on the computer, which then was a lot slower than it is now. It was dialing
up. 2.5 or
right,
what was it?
Up, yeah, we're dialing up on baud rate, and we're
56K.
I'm looking at the TV. I'm sitting at the end of the bed, and the TV's a little up, a little higher, and they show the building on fire, and then the other plane hits it. And I call up Dan, and there's a break on the air, and I hear Dan, they put me on hold. He's talking about a plane hit the tower. I said, Dan, that plane didn't hit the tower. The plane flew into the tower. And that was an airliner. Airliners don't fly that low over Manhattan. Somebody committed suicide. And I could tell you leagues on that stuff. And the reason that happened, people sat still, is up until that point when bad guys hijacked planes, they usually just held everybody hostage and landed the plane. So they figured that's what was going to happen.
I know.
We get some money, a couple guys go to jail, fuel the plane. Up until that point, they hadn't used planes as missiles.
No.
Yeah. But remember, those planes were never there. George Bush did it. All right, shut the door. Behind you. Shut the door behind you.
Well, as a matter of fact, we're good. Thank you.
We're done?
Yeah.
Well, you want to see the opening of the show.
I do, here. All right.
You'll want to see this. Yeah.
Go march around.
Oh, yeah. What am I being interviewed for here anyway?
The Charleston Times Television Network.
Oh.
You're this week's show.
Is that thing still on?
Yeah.
I thought this was a game show. I don't get nothing.
Here, I'll give you a card. Want a card?
Sure. Hey, I'll give you something.
No, look.
Here.
The video.
I'll pass to get into the Charleston Christmas Festival of Lights. What?
Yes. It's funny you should say that. Here.
I will hit us a link with that. We'll edit it up nice and neat, make me look handsome.
I will.
Put some more hair on me.
Can't do that. Rogaine. We don't do the whole Rogaine. No, and we're out of time on the camera.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're done? You didn't get the big intro.
I know. Thanks. Bye.